Welcome back to another Master and Apprentice podcast. So we had, I don't remember how old this document, this article is. It's on the Direct. It's titled, Obi-Wan Kenobi trilogy planned before Disney Plus. I forgot who the writer was. Who's Hossein Ami. He's the original writer for this. He was supposed to write the movie trilogy, before Disney Plus even came around. He was writing it around the time Solo was coming out. For the meat of this article that I really want to get to, I will leave a link right there. Pop. It is that he had written the first movie and the second movie, but the reason that we did not get this movie trilogy is due in part to the fact that Solo tanked so bad in box office. And when I mean tanked, I mean if you look at all the Star Wars movies that came before it, all did pretty well for box office numbers for Star Wars. And this one did not. And so they did not want to do this in a movie. We wanted to do this in an original series. Why they think Solo did so bad was because they think it's because they did just a recast for the character. They didn't do, Harrison Ford with CGI'd face. They thought that's why they did such a bad, that people hated the new character, the new actor.
Yeah.
And with that, they thought, okay, that did terrible. People don't want to see another recast or another whatever for Kenobi. So that's why we never got the trilogy.
Yeah.
With that being said, Athen, what do you think about the Kenobi part?
The Kenobi part, I would have loved the Kenobi trilogy. I mean, that just sounds awesome right there. Assuming if it's done right, like the Kenobi show, if it's done right, if they make 5 seasons of that sounds awesome as well. I think that they're making less content of it because it's a TV show as opposed to if it were a movie. If it were a movie trilogy, I feel like they would have a lot more built in. And say the first season of Kenobi, or say the one season we have of Kenobi right now was one of the movies. I feel like we would have gotten more content if it was 3 movies, even though it would have been less overall time. Because we had 2 big filler episodes, and even if you ignore the filler episodes, I feel like a movie trilogy, whenever they do trilogies specifically for Star Wars, and I know it's taken literally like 60 years for 3 trilogies to come out, but the 3 trilogies that happened, regardless of whether you like them or not, you can tell a lot of effort was put into them. The third trilogy, the newest one, you can like it, you can hate it, but you could watch the movie, and you can tell all the effects were just amazing.
That's what I was going to say. You can hate it for what you want, but you at the very least, you can say those are beautiful movies.
I mean, one of the things I would like about the third trilogy a good bit, specifically the 7th movie, is the choreography and the effects. I don't know if you know, but if you look at the original trilogy, the prequels, and the sequels, the lightsabers just look a little bit different, and they look so clean in the new ones, and they look clean in the TV shows too, but it's just those little things. And I think that if we got a movie trilogy, it would have been better content or more actual content you like enjoy as opposed to a TV show. I think this TV show is pretty good, and I have no problem with the TV show. If I had to pick between the two, I would have picked a movie trilogy. And I looked at I have the box office pulled up right now. Rogue One grossed $1 billion. Episode 9 grossed $1 billion. Episode 9, the one everyone hated, grossed $1 billion. Episode 8 grossed $1.3 billion, and Solo scored less than $400 million. So it was just not even a half of what the other ones did.
Yeah. So what you're saying is you would have liked it as a movie trilogy?
I personally would prefer it as a trilogy if I had no information. I like the one season we have so far. I don't think we're going to get another one, honestly. Possibly. But, I mean...
With our old video Kenobi saying maybe season 2, I did believe either Kathleen Kennedy or Disney released saying, no, we're not doing season 2. Also, I agree. I think I like the idea of a show really well, but the fact that Disney does not do a good job with the budgeting. If you look at all the movies so far, I mean, agree with you want, but all the movies have a good big budget and they all look awesome. I feel like a big part of this movie's problem was the fact that it didn't have a big budget, or if they did, they didn't use it very well. Because I feel like a lot of things just look fake. Like the Inquisitors look bad, and a lot of the scenes just look trashy and reused almost. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I feel like I don't feel like this guy who wrote the original trilogy, he'd been writing it. And so these new writers, I don't really like what they did. They rewrote part of it. Not a fan of what they did. It had a lot of cheesy stuff in it. Some of it I did like. So I'm not going to say I didn't like it at all. But what this other guy had in store, what he kind of summed it in this article, what he had in store, what the main overall setting and plot was. And I liked it. I was like, wow, these are deep and these are interesting. So overall, I would have loved it in trilogy. My initial thought was like, no, I would have liked it in a series. That's actually really cool because you kind of go deeper into characters, I feel like. But with hindsight now and seeing what they did with the series, I'm like, a trilogy they probably could have done a little bit better, honestly.
Yeah. Like if I were asked
more action packed, it would have been. If they had trilogy, we probably would get more dialogue with the characters, better dialogue with the characters, and more character arc with the characters, better budget, so it would look better in my opinion. So I feel like a big part of Kenobi, for me personally, was just the shooting of that. Like I just feel like it was cheap, honestly. I think the same thing with Boba. Mando, I feel like they did season 2 Mando. I feel like they did a really good job with budgeting and how it looks. I think they did a great job. Beautiful. Season 1 of Boba and season 1 of Kenobi, I feel like look very cheap. And that's something I have a big problem with. And some of the dialogue that is written for the characters, it's just cheap Star Wars dialogue that I don't think should be in there.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I just looked at the budget differences. The Kenobi show, this is an estimation. The whole budget for the entire show was about $150 million. And then you think about that, that's like a good bit of money right there. Star Wars Episode 9 was $275 million. So if we got a 3-part movie series, that would likely be nearly $1 billion in the budgets to build the movies. Right. And I'm not one that's like looking at the numbers like, okay, this movie costs more, so it must be better or not. If you're paying twice as much and having less runtime, it's gonna be better. You're gonna have more quality. Oh my gosh! And
I think they used all their budget in the last 2 episodes, and that's why those 2 episodes are, in my opinion, and episode 3. All 3 of those, episode 3 and 5 and 6, are the most beautiful to me.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a coincidence that at least episode 5 and 6 were the ones that had the most budget put into them.
Yeah.
So
the Inquisitor, what they did with the Inquisitor really disappointed me. The Grand Inquisitor, how he looked, that I can't tell if they were trying to just make it so that was its own thing. Get rid of. At first, I thought they were getting rid of a Rebels canon, which made no sense to me. But they are actually keeping in that's what that character looks like.
Yeah, it's just cheap.
It's
just cheap. I just feel like a lot of it was cheap. Honestly,
yeah.
I can't put it a better way.
I definitely agree.
But yeah, there's the piece of information you guys didn't know. Leave your opinions down in the comments. What do you guys think about this? If you're on podcast, I don't know.
Over to YouTube and comment.
Yeah, if there's no comments in this, go over to YouTube and leave us a comment. Because I just want to know what you guys think about this. If you would have liked the movie trilogy better, if you liked the series idea better, and just what you think of how they did it, if it was good or bad, or yeah.
Yep.
All right, you all set then, Nathan?
Yes, sir.
All right, we'll see you guys in the next one.